Let's break down Friday's highlights and look ahead to week 3 of the high school football season. I'm Pep Fernandez, and thanks for watching the HS Game Time Scouting Report, brought to you by our good friends at Paradise Chevrolet Cadillac in Temecula, Lake Chevrolet in Lake Elsinore, and the Gosh Auto Group in Hemet. Thank you for joining the HS Game Time team this season. Now let's get the show cracking with Vista Murrieta. The Broncos have a huge matchup brewing with Redlands East Valley in week 3. Vista Murrieta coming off a convincing win against South Anchorage, Alaska. Broncos head coach Coley Candell, what do you think of the scouting report? Thumbs up, just what I thought. Anchorage fans making the trip down, a couple of them at least. First quarter, that Broncos defense. Curtis Bolton first to the ball, the big stop by Vista Murrieta. Then later in the opening frame, Vista Murrieta forces the fumble and the Broncos recover. And Vista Murrieta had a few more fans than the fine folks from Anchorage, as you might expect. Later in the first frame, Nick Stevens, the quarterback, hooking up with Sua Cravens on the touchdown strike. Lop it up, 7-zip Broncos. Then later in the first quarter, Anchorage with the ball, avoid the Hoyd. Greg Hoyd, the INT touchdown return, pick 6, 14-zip Vista Murrieta. Alaskan cold front, not on Friday night. The onside kick and the Broncos recover. The only miscue of the night, Vista Murrieta driving, Nick Stevens going for the end zone, and he is picked off here as the Broncos come up empty on that drive. But pretty much all perfect in the first half for Vista Murrieta besides a couple penalties. The defense, too physical, too fast. Tyler Cook, Tigi Feoliu on the stop, and then Sua back in the highlights. Second quarter, South Anchorage driving, Sua Cravens, the pick, and he'll go 88 yards on the touchdown return. 21-0, Vista Murrieta in control. And get some water, bro, some high-quality H2O, because there's no breaks. The Wolverines punting, Phillip Jones-Ward flies in for the block, and Sua with an easy touchdown. The ball just falls into his hands. Vista Murrieta led 28-zip at halftime, and they go on to the big-time win, 49-8. Meanwhile, Rev was at home for St. Bonaventure. U.S. soccer star Landon Donovan at the game, just kicking it. The Rev Department of Defense is one of the best in the inland area. Julius Humphrey coming up with the pick for Redlands East Valley. The Cats would capitalize on their favorite pastry, the turnover. Quarterback Levi Plant dumps it off to Anthony Perez. 50 yards, all right. And Rev is up 7-0. But how about more from that intimidating Rev defense? My guy, Kylie Fitz. The future USC Trojan takes down quarterback Ricky Town. Then Fitz goes for Zach Green, and he's got the loss. Kylie Fitz. Rev led 7-zip at the half. Third quarter, the Wildcats with the ball near their own goal line. They cough it up, and the Bonnies recover in the end zone for the touchdown. The Seraphs go up 8-7. Later, St. Bonaventure's high-powered offense starting to find some rhythm. Green breaks free on the touchdown run, and they take a 15-7 lead on Rev. Fourth quarter, St. Bonnie adds the three-pointer, and that would be it. Redlands East Valley falls to St. Bonaventure 18-7. The Wildcats defense came up big, but the offense is still a work in progress, says head coach Kurt Bruick, as his team eyes a showdown with Vista Murrieta.
I think that we can say that our defense is real. I think our defense is legit, and I think we showed it tonight. You know, now we have to get better offensively. I take that we played our butts off against a very, very talented football team, a very storied program, you know, with multiple CIF championships, and I feel we earn respect from them, you know, if not from anyone else. I mean, I know that giving up 11 points to them, people are going to be calling us asking for our film to find out, hey, what did you guys do?
Let's take a look at the HS Game Time rankings. The top 10, Vista Murrieta perched atop, and then it's Rev and Centennial. And look out for Murrieta Valley. They cracked the top 10, and they are climbing. The Nighthawks will pack their bags and head to Juneau, Alaska for their Week 3 game. This segment brought to you by our good friends at the Gosh Auto Group in Hemet. Another big game on the state radar for Centennial as they take on Alemany in Week 3. Alemany coming off a 54-14 win versus North. The Huskies played without Marcus Baugh, who suffered a concussion in practice on Monday. His status is still unknown for North's Thursday night game against Citrus Hill. The Huskies coming off a big win against Long Beach Cabrillo. First quarter, quarterback Robert Weber connects with Daniel Gonzalez on the touchdown. The Huskies tack on the 2-point conversion, making it 23-zip. Now let's move to the second quarter. Rankin gets the call on the ground right there. Rankin races 54 yards for the score. 36-zip Centennial all over Cabrillo. Still in the second, R. Webb tosses the pass to Ryan Pascarella. 33 yards, touchdown Centennial. Cabrillo heading back to the LBC with a big-time loss. Centennial clobbers Cabrillo 61-6. The highlights roll on with Rubidoux, and this segment fueled by our friends at Lake Chevrolet in Lake Elsinore. The Falcons have raced out to a 3-0 start with Desert Hot Springs on the horizon in Week 3. Rubidoux taking on Poly at Ramona Stadium. The Falcons get it cracking in the first quarter with a touchdown run. Go Rubidoux! They're on the board first. Now the Bears with the ball. Poly with the nice play, but the Falcons swoop in and force the fumble. Rubidoux recovers, and they go on to win 44-15, your final score. Next up for Poly is Kaiser. The Cats took on Cajon, and Cowboys quarterback DeJuan Brooks tweaked his ankle, and he had to leave the game. Cajon's offense was held to just 140 yards of total offense as Kaiser picks up the win 24-13. The Cowboys drop to 0-3. The Cats now 2-0. Let's take a quick break from the highlights and tell you about something very exciting here at HS Game Time. Each Wednesday morning, I'll be in the KCAL Rocks 96.7 FM studios to join the best morning show around, Jimbo, Stu, and Tiffany, to talk high school football, the Chargers, and whatever else comes up. It's going to be great, so tune in each Wednesday morning in the 8 o'clock hour as we talk some prep pigskin. Here's a sneak peek from my visit this past Wednesday.
Hi there, we are
Stu,
Tiffany,
and Jimbo,
and we're from 96.7 KCAL Rocks. We just wanted to say,
Pep Fernandez rocks! Tiffany and Jimbo here along with sports stud Pep Fernandez.
Thanks, Stu. From the Press Enterprise,
Right.
PE.com. Check them out. Now, what's more importantly, I see you got a video camera. These videos that you make for your website.
Well, you guys were on our show last week. Did you?
I didn't even see it yet.
I'm sure you watched, Jimbo. Come on. It's
Oh.
it's HS Game Time Live. It starts at 10:30 every Friday night. We've got high school football highlights. We've got scores, analysis. We do a lot of fun stuff. I did like an Anchorman skit, like a parody of Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
So,
I got it on my DVR. I'll watch it later.
all right,
he's been
excellent.
looking for it like crazy. Anytime
Yes.
he gets to see himself on screen, it's a good day.
We'll put a link up on our Facebook so you can check out
Good.
Pep Fernandez. What are you, a good Irish kid with a name like that?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, Fernandez. You know.
Right on, Pep Fernandez. He's off to the Press Enterprise, a legit job. PE.com. Check him out, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
You rock!
KCAL Rocks, they're the best. Now back to the action, and the Rancho Verde heads to Las Vegas for their game in Week 3 with its first win of the season. The Mustangs were at Great Oak on Friday, the Wolfpack with a huge crowd, and they were all there to see an elephant. An elephant? That can't be right. I'm not even sure why it's there. Can somebody please hit me up on Facebook? Tell me why there was an elephant at Great Oak. Well, from pachyderms to the pigskin, Great Oak's defense looking to hold down the Rancho Verde's shifty quarterback, Sherion Jones. The Pack gets the job done there. Later, the Mustangs keep it on the ground. Cedric Peterson gets the call, moving the chains with a nice run there. And then it's Jones. Nothing doing, so he calls his own number, takes off, and he's going to get another first down for the Mustangs. And then it's Jones running in for the touchdown. The Rancho Verde edges Great Oak 28-24 for its first win of the season. Next up for Great Oak is Heritage. The Patriots had no problem with Beaumont on Friday. Now I had to stir the pot a little bit, give the Cougars some respect, but Heritage is just that good, plain and simple. The Patriots are the real deal once again. They beat Beaumont 37-16. Paradise Chevrolet Cadillac in Temecula powers this segment of HS Game Time, the scouting report. Norco had its offense rolling against Etiwanda, and the Cougars will look to keep it going as they take on Los Osos in Week 3. Let's pick up the action. My guy, EPJ, providing us with the video, and Colton Gerhardt, well, we know he can run. He takes this one into the paint. A little love tap there at the end. He pushes him back. It's all good. Then later, Joe Ajibi. The long run here. Check out the sideline. They're going nuts because every time Ajibi touches the ball, he can get it cracking. Then Gerhardt, he can pass too. This is a complete offense, folks. Norco getting it done with the passing game, the touchdown strike, and then Ajibi, the touchdown run. If you're talking Norco, you can bet they can still run the ball too, as Norco goes on to the big victory against Etiwanda, 42-13. Norco gets Los Osos in week 3. The Grizzlies coming off a loss at Redlands. Redlands vaulted back into the HS Game Time rankings this week, checking in at number 8, a tie with Chaparral. Early in this one, Terriers quarterback Jimmy Walker buys some time and finds Walter Jones for the diving grab. You know, call me old-fashioned, but it's not a game until the Terriers break out the halfback pass. Walker flips it to Daryl Miller, who finds a wide-open Jones. Hello, Jonesy. Redlands gets on the board 7-zip in the second quarter. The Terriers took a 7-3 lead into the locker room at halftime. Third quarter, the Grizzlies drive down the field, and they take the lead when Isaiah Cordero punches it into the paint. Los Osos on top, 10-7. The Terriers would love a win. This guy just loves Brittany. You gotta love the big game from Walter Jones, already with some big catches in this one, including the touchdown, and Jones with a key interception to stall a Los Osos drive. Anybody else notice the Charlie Brown chain gang? Maybe Snoopy was a Terrier. Who knows? UCLA-bound running back Craig Lee cranks it up in the second half. Lee with the big run to move the chains. And then it's Walker to Perot Charles for another Terriers first down. Later on that drive, Redlands facing fourth down. They go for the end zone. Walker to Jordan Ory. It's all good. Redlands takes the lead 14-10 late in the fourth quarter. Los Osos would get the ball back, but the Redlands defense was up for the challenge. The Terriers battle back to beat Los Osos 14-10, your final score.
You really have to have a defense to play, and that was very evident when we played Rancho Cucamonga and had 28 missed tackles, and yet we rushed for, we had 395 yards offense, 15 first downs. Now we're really kind of rallying to the ball, and our motto this week was really, stay in the fight, find a way to stay in the fight, and that's what our guys did all night.
We're a team out here. We play as a team. We play as one. That's what we got to do to make this happen. That's what we got to do to win football games. Play as one. That's the key to success right there.
We're hoping to put up some more points on offense, but I think the defense is playing great, and I think we're going to continue to play well. And Coach Romano's a great defense coordinator, and he puts us in the right position, so I think we're going to do well.
That brings us to the HS Game Time fan poll, where you go online and cast your vote each week for the question we pose to you. And first, last week's question, we had to pick the top quarterback in the inland area, and Chase Chambers wins in a landslide, 55% of the vote. Now, this week's question is, who is the top running back in the inland area? We've given you 3 names, and you just saw 2 of them in the highlights, Craig Lee from Redlands and Joseph Ajibi from Norco. We're throwing Jamal Morrow from Heritage in the mix, so go online. You can vote all the way up until Wednesday, and we'll have the results on HS Game Time live on Friday at 10:30, as well as right here on the HS Game Time Scouting Report on Saturday. Back to the action. We're going to make the short trip to RCC right behind the Press Enterprise for Notre Dame hosting Calvary Murrieta. Hey, it's Polly Guaps. The touchdown run by Paul Bradvica ties the game at 7 for the Titans. And then later, some Titan defense. Jonathan Kemp, the INT for Notre Dame. Still in the first quarter, it's Bradvica going to the air. Polly Guaps can pass. Anthony McMaster hauls it in, shakes his man, gets into the paint. 14-7 Notre Dame. Calvary Murrieta battles back. The quarterback, Zach Chesser, goes in for the touchdown, ties the game at 14. And then it's Chesser taking the plunge over the goal line. 21-14, Calvary Murrieta takes the lead. The Titans battle back. The old Polly Guaps to McMaster combo doing it again on the touchdown strike. 21-21, we're all even. And I'm told these are the best ball boys in the business, second to none. Calvary Murrieta, the old hook and ladder play. They move the ball all the way down to the doorstep, the 1-yard line, and they would punch it in for a touchdown. Calvary Murrieta led 28-21 at halftime, and they go on to the victory against Notre Dame, 42-35. Now it's on to Fontana. The Steelers at home against Alta Loma, looking to snap a 25-game losing streak that dates back to 2009. Second quarter, Fohai moving the ball. Isaac Arredondo punches in the touchdown, but they were trailing 7-6. And then later, how about some Steeler defense? They would force the fumble, and Fohai recovers the ball. So they give it back to Arredondo. The big man can move, running the rock there. And then it's J.P. McElharney. He's going to come up with a big run, but the Steelers would come up empty on that drive. Back comes Alta Loma. They hand it off to Marcellus Hunter, hunting for the long touchdown run as Alta Loma extends its lead to 14-6 on Fohai. But you can never count out the Steelers. Arredondo, give it to the big man. The long run here to move the chains, and then that's would lead to this. McElharney, a touchdown run for Fontana. That was a 2-point game at that point, 14-12. The Steelers were trailing, but Alta Loma answers with another Marcellus Hunter touchdown as Fontana loses again. Final score of 36-12. Before we wrap up this edition of the Scouting Report, let's pass out some awards.
Player of the Week.
The Player of the Week honors goes to Vista Murrieta's Sua Cravens. An offensive, a defensive, and special teams touchdown all in the first half against South Anchorage. The Broncos will need another big game from Cravens come Friday when they face Redlands East Valley. It's Sua Cravens, the HS Game Time Scouting Report Player of the Week.
Play of the Week.
The play of the week comes from Redlands. Facing 4th down, Terriers down by 3. Quarterback Jimmy Walker finds Jordan Ory for the game-winning touchdown with 4:17 left in the game. The victory gave head coach Jim Walker his 200th career victory. Thanks for joining us on the Saturday Scouting Report, fueled by Paradise Chevrolet Cadillac, Lake Chevrolet, and the Gosh Auto Group. I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you again next Saturday on the HS Game Time Scouting Report.